Excellent. Welcome, everybody. I'm Joyce Douglas, and welcome to the very first community of practice for the 2021-2023 biennium. Our theme is we made it to the other side. It's been kind of a long journey. So you can see in the picture, all these people are holding up and these people are making it to the other side. So that's kind of what we've done for each other for this entire, how long ever it's been, year and a half. So thank you all for being here. And I apologize for any tech issues. People have helped me, but we are back in the office. So the YTP management team has been able to meet most of us at the U of O. So we're all excited about that. So you might recall that the theme of Summer Academy was Stepping Stones to the Future. We're going to continue on that theme, and we're going to talk about the path that leads to our ultimate goal of YTP, and we're going to lay out a map of how to get there over this next 2 years, I guess. So I would like to take a minute and just celebrate where we are. And so if you want to put in the chat or speak up, I would love to hear your voices about what your favorite moment of the brand new school year has been so far. And we'll just take a few minutes. And I can't see the chat, so if all my lovely people could help out.
I was going to say seeing the students again, actually being able to talk to them and see them.
Excellent.
Some more comments being made in chat, meeting all the new students, meeting students in person.
Yeah, I know from my perspective, when I was a transition specialist in COVID, the job seems sort of pointless without the students, because that's what makes it worthwhile and feeds your soul. So students, excellent. Anything else?
Places hiring,
That is exciting.
being on campus, being able to take my students to places again, students getting jobs, lots of good positive comments.
Perfect. And that's one thing that I've enjoyed with the people that I've met with is hearing those student stories. Does anyone have a particular student story they would like to share real quick? Okay, I can't see you guys, so I can't read any body language, but I know that many of you have had success even in this short little amount of time. So thank you for sharing. Just real quick, I want to remind you of who the management team who are here to support you in YTP. We have Charlotte Alverson, our mighty leader, Michelle Markle. Oh, maybe I should let them all introduce themselves. Do you guys want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. I'm Charlotte Alverson at the University of Oregon. Glad you're with us today.
Hi, Mary Jo Erickson, technical assistance provider. Welcome.
Hello, Michelle Markle, VR. Good to see everybody.
Hi,
Hey,
I'm
folks.
Terry Falkenstern, technical assistance also.
Hi,
Jesse
I'm
Berkey
Sally
also.
Simich from ODE. Oh, sorry, Jesse.
There we go.
Maybe I should
Sally,
jump
thought
in
you had
now.
Another call. Go, Garrett.
Hey, I'm Garrett. I just had to jump in here ahead of Jesse just because it was so much fun at this point.
So it has been fun because we've gotten to meet in person. So we've just been interrupting each other all day. So thank you guys. Okay, so going forward in these community practices, we want to build a coherent theme. And we know we're going into this with assumptions, right? So between fires and COVID and everything else, we all know it's been a very tough year and a half that none of us could have imagined. We recognize that COVID is still affecting our lives and our works and our students, and that there are ripple effects. So Everyone's missed time with students. They've missed time with coworkers and team members. So this makes it where it's hard to build relationships. So right now, you're just now getting back in there and working with your students. There's also been a bunch of staff changes and kind of this feeling of, I think a lot of people changed how they structured their life, maybe left jobs or moved just from COVID. So in a way, we're all starting from scratch. So even though it's been difficult, hopefully together we can help build this into a stronger system than when it started. And I just lost everything. Hi Terry. Okay. And we all know that the best pies are made from scratch. So it's not a bad thing to start from scratch, but it is a lot of work. So we look forward to.
Joyce, just so you know, you stopped sharing your PowerPoint presentation with us.
Is that what happened? Thank you.
Yes.
Because I can't see anything. Let's try this again. I appreciate all of you. This poor conference room is probably super excited to be used right now because it's been a very long time. Jesse realized that the TV wasn't even plugged in. Oh, good. All my notes are gone. Cool. Okay. So we're gonna.
Now we're seeing your presenter view.
I don't know what I would do without you guys. Thank you.
It's okay, Joyce.
Thank you.
I'm sure everyone on here has had those moments of, I thought I practiced everything, had it all set up, and then my computer goes to sleep, or, it's okay.
Thanks. So are you seeing anything right now?
Each other.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we see you.
Oh, good.
Which is kind of nice.
Talk amongst yourselves, like,
There you go.
I saw Bon Jovi.
How?
Oh, that was funny. I get it. Ha 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 ha. I saw AC/DC.
I don't get it. Okay, let's move on. Jesse, explain it to me later. Okay. So as we go forward with our community of practice, we're going to kind of go with some conjectures. We wanted to say assumptions, but conjectures are kind of conclusions based on incomplete information. And I feel like we've all gotten very used to making conjectures. So going forward, as we go through our community of practice and we learn strategies to help your students, we're going to assume that life will return to normal eventually, and that there are students who want to work, and that there are jobs out there. One thing that's kind of nice that's come out of this is there's more avenues for contact and engagement. I don't know if you guys have had this experience, but often I have seen that students and their families are more able to attend IEP meetings and VR intakes over Zoom, and that they're more comfortable and you learn a little bit more about their lives. So that is a really nice tool that we're going to have that's coming out of this. Many of our families and our staff members have learned how to work technology in a way that's going to benefit systems going into the future. Schools and VR are working to revive and rebuild systems to support students in creative ways. So all of you have gone through, jumped through hoops, figured out ways to still help your students. Every student, this is a fact, we all know that every student can succeed with the right supports, and that your CAP and YTP management teams are here to support you in meeting your benchmarks and serving your students. Always know that you can reach out to us. So we're going to try this. Let's see how technology is going to serve us today. So if you go to menti.com, and I was totally going to put this in the chat, but nope. And enter this lovely code. You guys have all done the word cloud, hopefully, at some point. So what are the main goals of the Youth Transition Program? What is our ultimate destination in this journey? And the code, it's minty.com, and the code is 83051792. And I'm curious, let me know if it's not working, because for some reason the U of O Wi-Fi does not like this. If you don't want to go through this, you are also welcome. I see that there must be some in the chat. You're welcome to put it in the chat, and maybe somebody can read some of them out.
Yeah, it seems to be taking a while. I put an answer in and it's saying, please
Okay.
wait for the next presenter slide. So
Yeah, I feel like maybe the university has a little more pull on their Wi-Fi than my house. So if you could put it in the chat or speak out, that'd be wonderful. What are the goals? What are we trying to do as transition specialists and VR counselors and admin?
Joyce, when we put that number in, it comes up with a question that says, is it CIE?
CIE.
Oh, good. Okay, so everyone just ignore the Mentimeter, throw it in the chat. We'll call it good. Thank you for letting me know. Can someone check the chat? I've seen that there's some stuff in there. I can just see the numbers.
Help kid finds jobs, empowering young adults to gain independence, support student voice, setting goals and finding jobs, building relationships, finding jobs, to help kids find jobs, to pre-ets, to transition from high school and beyond, to make connections with students, support transition age students in their future.
Perfect. I heard get jobs multiple times, prepare students for jobs. Yeah, that is exactly what the goals are. There are specific defined goals within the YTP manual. So there's two main interconnected goals for the youth transition program. It's to improve post-school transition outcomes for youth with disabilities by preparing them for employment or career-related post-secondary training. So that's the get a job. To increase capacity and create system change in schools and other agencies that serve students with disabilities as they work from transitioning from school to work. So without actually affecting how the system works, it's hard to help students get jobs. So we're going to discuss that over the course of these community practice, these two interconnected goals. And these came out of research that change leads directly to improvements of outcomes. So you're part of that change. So throughout this biennium, our community of practice will work to provide tools to reach these goals. And we're going to start with post-school transition. We're going to work backwards from that student has a job and help guide you through ideas of how to get them there. So the focus will provide you with tools and strategies to meet benchmarks. And we're going to use backwards planning to work within the cohort model. We understand that systems change takes a long time. And some of you who've been around for at least a year or two will remember the cohort model, which we'll discuss more in the future. This isn't a day hike. This is the Pacific Crest Trail all the way up. We're not expecting systems change and this implementation to happen overnight. Studies have shown that it takes 2 to 4 years at each level to change a system. So that's district level, high school level, classroom level. So we're going to work to build a strong system based upon the foundation that we already have to help us reach that point. Our goal is we're going to follow the path from educational transition services to competitive integrated employment. So this thing is real, all right? This is a real bridge. It's in China. I'm advocating for our next conference to be held there. We're just all gonna fly over there. Anyway, you will notice that this bridge, there's many paths to all get to the other side. So think of your favorite student success story. Get it in your brain. You know, that one where you and the student worked so hard to overcome barriers. The student had an ultimate goal of, say, working in retail or being a beautician or a welder, whatever it was. I'm sure that in your story there were ups and downs. No student story followed the same path, but seeing the student reach their goals makes all those struggles worth it. We're going to start today by defining competitive integrated employment as the ultimate goal of YTP. And over the next 2 years, we're going to talk about the path to get there and how it's unique for each student. I put this in here because sometimes there's some barriers to convincing people that competitive integrated employment is important. Sometimes parents or teachers who are focused on getting the kid to graduate or others, it's important to have language to be able to explain why this is an important goal. So this is all from a study from Wisconsin, DHS. So it creates a strong path towards better physical and mental health. Pathways out of poverty, it reduces reliance on public benefits, so it's actually cost effective. It increases the quality of life and improves self-confidence, bettering social life and increasing a sense of community. Expectations of work from parents and teachers and others is a strong predictor of future competitive employment as an adult. So if we set up those expectations in the beginning, they're more likely to succeed. And society as a whole and businesses in all sectors of the economy can benefit from a workforce that includes and actively engages people with different abilities. So we all know this, but this is some language that might help you explain it. Competitive integrated employment, this is what it is. It is actually defined by WIOA, which is the law that we all operate under, or that VR operates under. And we'll talk about that more in the future also. But competitive integrated employment, it aligns with the student's preferences, interests, and needs, or PINs. It's paid at or above minimum wage. It's full or part-time work. It has benefits and advancement opportunities that are the same as employees without disabilities. The person with disability can interact with coworkers to the same extent as other employees. And when we say coworkers, this isn't just their supervisor or their support worker. Think to yourself, who are they going to go to when they have questions? Who are their peers doing similar jobs? So who do they have an opportunity to interact with on the same level as them, who they could become friends with? Because honestly, you know, that's kind of the goal, is you want to like your coworkers and feel comfortable with them. So that is what you're thinking about when you think about competitive integrated employment. We're going to run through some scenarios based on that information that I just shared with you to illustrate what competitive integrated employment is and what it's not. And here are some of the assumptions that we're going to make within these scenarios. So the individual named in the scenario has a disability, and that they have received pre-ETS support from YTP and VR, and each case is unique. So even though these scenarios are laid out, you know, there's always gray areas. And if you ever, and obviously these are less complicated than some of the stuff you'll see actually in the field. So if you ever have any questions, you're always welcome to go to your technical assistance provider. You have a whole team to support you in answering these questions. So here's the goal. We are not going to even try to mess with the Mentimeter, but we're going to go through the scenario. And then if you can just put in the chat yes or no. Ooh, wait, let's change this up. If you can just do thumbs up or thumbs down for yes or no. And then we'll discuss the reasons why. So Chloe has a job at Safeway as a courtesy clerk. She's making minimum wage. She's very excited because she wanted a job in customer service. She's made friends with some of the other courtesy clerks. She feels comfortable asking them questions instead of asking your boss everything. She is doing such a good job that her boss has asked if she would like to be trained as a cashier. So is Chloe's job competitive integrated employment? What are the people saying?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. Okay. So we're going to look at this scenario and decide whether it counts as competitive integrated employment. And maybe what we should do actually is let's go back here. And does anyone have any questions about things associated with what competitive integrated employment is? I'm afraid. Click on the chat. I feel like I'll break everything. Anything showing up in the chat? Are there no questions? Sorry, it's so weird not to be able to see any of you.
There's lots of people putting thumbs up, words and icons.
Okay, so this is what we're assessing these scenarios by. So does it align with the student's preference, interests, and needs, or the individual's preference, interests, and needs? Is it paid at or above minimum wage? Full or part-time work? Has benefits and advancement opportunities that are the same as employees without disabilities? It interacts with coworkers to the same extent as other employees, not just their supervisor or their support worker. So those are the points that we're looking at when we look at these scenarios to decide whether they are or not. Any questions on that? So we have the student. Oh, too far. Oh, what's that? Did you guys enter stuff? Oh, okay.
Joyce, you might want to clear that because I think people entered that information on the first time you pulled up the Mentimeter because those were the answers that we could enter at that time.
Got it. So my goal is just to ignore the Mentimeter at this point because technology is not my friend today. And to clear it, I have to close out of my PowerPoint. So the goal here is we're going to go through this scenario and just do thumbs up or thumbs down on whether you feel that this counts as competitive integrated employment. And then we'll go through the reasons why. So Chloe has a job at Safeway as a courtesy clerk. She's making minimum wage. She's very excited because she wanted a job in customer service. She has made friends with some of the other courtesy clerks. She feels comfortable asking them questions instead of her boss for everything. She's doing such a good job that her boss has asked if she would like to be trained as a cashier. Would this count as competitive integrated employment?
I see lots of thumbs up and yeses in the chat.
Excellent. Do we have any brave person who would like to say why based on these points? It's Monday.
She fits all the qualifications. She's got the job. She's working what she wants to do. Customer service is definitely what a courtesy clerk is providing. She's made her friends. She's comfortable asking the other employees for help instead of having to go to a job coach or to her boss. I think she's hit them all.
Perfect. And here's this wonderful person who saved us from silence. What is your name?
Oh, Diane Johnson.
Hi. Thank you very, very much. Okay. So, yes. All right, the next scenario. Isabella wanted to go to school to be a graphic designer. We've all had those students, right? She's much more comfortable working with computers than being outside. She was advised this is a challenging career to succeed in, given her struggles with math. Instead, she ended up getting a job with an agency that employs individuals with disabilities working on a landscape crew. She's making minimum wage. All of the employees on the crew have disabilities. The only individuals without disabilities are clients and supervisors. So does this count and why? Thumbs up and thumbs down, please.
No, 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 no. Somebody said. No, 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 no.
Exactly. So why not? What are the elements that are missing in that?
Well, for starters, she was really clear that she didn't want to be working outside, that she wanted to be working inside. She's only working with people with disabilities, and she's not doing what she said she wanted to do at all, not even in the general area. Is that a good start?
Yeah. So it doesn't align with her pins, her preferences, interests, and needs. Thank you. And who was that?
Amanda.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm smiling away at you. You can't see, but.
Oh, good. Thank you. And what else is in there that's missing?
Somebody asked.
It's not integrated at all.
It's not integrated. Diane Barrett, you were saying something.
Somebody asked for her to put the slide back up with the scenario.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I wasn't asking to say anything, but I would say that the number one reason is because it is not integrated. This is Diana Barrett. Hi. So all of the employees on the crew have disabilities, and regardless of the supervisors, they need to be there needs to be a percentage of those who experience disabilities and those who do not.
Perfect, thank you. And does anyone have any suggestions of what could have been done in this scenario? Say, sometimes you do have students who want to be a graphic, say she really wants to be a graphic designer, but she takes the placement test and she would have to start at fractions to get through community college. What could be some of the strategies that someone advising her, I mean, we'll talk about transition specialists, but or VR counselors, what could be done in this situation?
Hi, this is Kim Miller. And I would say doing a job shadow with someone. Who is a graphic designer?
Perfect, that's a great idea. Anything else?
Maybe looking at some like entry-level positions that are, or internships that are still in that category. And really doing some more pre-ets work around like what she thinks she's going to like about being a graphic designer, and see if that would open up other options and areas for things she might be more qualified for.
That's a fabulous idea, because maybe she just wants to draw and she doesn't actually care about some of the more technical ends of it. That's a wonderful idea. Anything else? That's one thing that I always enjoy about these trainings is all of you know the answers collected, so I appreciate your input. And I really think that puppy's cute. Okay. So the third scenario. Darian enjoys working with his hands. He's also interested in fashion. He struggles with following multi-step instructions, but once he learns a task, he masters it. His YTP team is able to help him get an entry-level job cleaning screens at a local screen printing shop. They're also able to arrange for longer-term supports of a job coach that Darian requires. He's very excited to learn all aspects of screen printing and enjoys getting paid minimum wage. So you know the system now. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Talk about why. Are we getting a majority of thumbs up or thumbs down, everyone?
Yes, 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 thumb up. Would like more info, but seems yes. Kathy
Okay.
Knowles would like more information, but seems like a yes on the surface.
What was the more information?
Catherine Knowles, you're up.
Well, I'd just like to know if he's working with other people, if, you know, like to know what his assessments were, is he's just cleaning, making t-shirts. Is that enough for him to be happy in the fashion industry? And also, who's he working with? Are there other people there?
That is a great question. What would be the scenarios where it wouldn't be community or integrated employment, as far as along with that, who he's working with? Because that's a fabulous question.
If everybody in the shop was disabled and he was, and they're all working in there together, that would be.
Yeah, I'm doing what Kathy said. I feel like there's not enough information to make a call on whether or not that's like a mock sheltered workshop, or if it's, I mean, he is working with his hands, and he isn't, working into art, but who's he working with? And they're job coaching him, but what supports are in place? I've got more questions.
That's great. Okay, so what would be the
More on the
scenario?
no side, because again, there's just not enough information. And we also don't know if his job coach is going to be there all the time with him, if he's the only one he's going to ask for help from. I think that we need, as everyone said, we need a lot more information, but I'm leaning more on the no.
Okay.
This is Kim again. I'm leaning more towards no, but I think it could be a start. There are some shops that are like in malls and places like that where you order a shirt and you wait for it to be made. And if it's a place like that, he could be doing customer service and working with actually making the t-shirts and not just cleaning the screens.
Okay. So it sounds like the questions, this is good for me in writing scenarios. Thank you. You're all helping me learn. So the questions are around whether it's integrated, whether he has peers that are his coworkers. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then whether there's room for advancement that would be equal with those peers. Okay. So those are two really fabulous questions. Thank you for throwing that in there. In my brain, I was thinking that it was. I didn't even ask that. So this very excited cat that's coming up next might have the wrong answer. But it's really good to ask all of those questions, and I appreciate it. Thank you. But I mean, the cat's cute, right? Okay. And this is the last one. I'm very excited because I wrote this really late last night, so I must have missed some stuff. We'll see. So Izzy has always wanted to work at the Enchanted Forest. He's been going there since he was a kid. He has encyclopedic knowledge of the history of the park and all of the rides. The manager agreed to hire Izzy as a greeter. Since the park doesn't normally have a greeter, the manager said that they will only pay Izzy $20 a day for a 5-hour shift. Izzy is thrilled to be at the park, so he accepts the offer.
Lots of no's.
Okay.
No. No.
And why?
Not competitive.
It's not minimum wage.
It's not minimum wage.
There's nobody else there. It would just be him at the gate, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's not a position that exists. This is just kind of made for him.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't meet any.
Well, no, I mean, being made for him is fine. A job carve is good.
Right.
But all of the other things are wrong. Except for the pins. It nailed the pins and the job carve. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so job carving, would you like to explain it, or shall I, just in case people don't?
Go ahead.
Okay, so job carving is when you realize that a business might have a need, and someone correct me if I get this wrong. There's a business that might have a need, and you find a way to fill that need that will serve your students' pins and actually help the business to the extent where they're going to pay minimum wage and it's going to be competitive integrated employment. So identifying businesses' needs and how your students can help fill those needs. Does that sound good to management team and everyone?
I can see Michelle doing the same action that I do. It's like a carve.
Oh, yeah.
I describe it as
You can see me.
there's somebody
Just Joyce
doing a
can't, yes.
position, and if we carved away a piece of what they're doing, so they have more time to do their job, and we could do that carved off piece. I could see Michelle going like this.
Yeah.
I can't see
That's how I like to explain a job carve.
One more time. So
it's like taking a piece of somebody who's there already,
okay,
giving away a piece of what they're doing, so that they have more time to concentrate on the things they really want to do, but you're having, the client is having an active role in the job and working with other people.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, okay. That sounds like a very good explanation. But yeah, it definitely hit the pins, right? I'm sure that all of you have had a student who is obsessed with something. I had one who knew every single thing about every bus in the entire city of Springfield, Eugene. Like he knew this route had this kind of bus and like everything. I'm sure all of you have had students that are super into something.
I have a comment from Lynn Carter. Just because it's carved doesn't mean it can go outside the labor laws. It's agreed upon by the employer, meaning that employer has agreed to hire them in a paid minimum wage position.
Perfect. And so I'll go to my lovely slide here. Nope. Okay. So as you're thinking about this, and as you're thinking about those students that you're just now meeting, as you re-enter schools and are getting to know people, remember that this is the ultimate goal. The goal is to get them to competitive integrated employment. Going into the future, as we continue on with our community of practices, we're going to discuss the whys and the hows and all the steps from when you first meet that student all the way to getting to this ultimate goal. So that is our theme for all of this. Wow, thank you every single person who broke the silence, because when, especially not being able to see any of you, it's just so nice to have people speak up, so thank you. We're going to have some announcement, but first, are there any questions about this content? Any questions about anything else?
Sarah Jordan says, super helpful for me being new. Thank you. Good examples. So.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so the last thing we have is just a few announcements, unless anybody else from the management team wants to add anything. Okay, here we go. And everyone correct me if I'm pretty sure that I have all this right. So today we just talked about regionals, and as some of you know, we were really wanting to have them in person and be able to come and see all of you. But that is just not appropriate right now at this time. So we've decided to have, instead of having us teach you things, it's more of we want to hear what you have to say. So what we're going to do is each TAP's sites are going to meet on these dates. So Garrett's sites are going to meet on October 12th. Terry's sites on October 14th. My sites are going to be October 19th. Mary Jo's are October 21st, and Jesse's are the 26th. This is going to be over Zoom, and you'll be getting registration information going forward. And we realized that we had most of us had told you that we're going to have the in-person and had dates associated with that. So this might not be the date that you had saved for regionals. and that's okay. We totally understand that the world is weird right now. School's starting, stopping, everything's kind of up in the air. If you can attend, our goal within this is to listen. We want to know what struggles you've had, what successes you've had, help you get to know people in your region, and find out more of what you want from us going forward and how we can best support you. Because remember that your CAPS, our entire goal is to help you help your students succeed and to help VR and schools work together. That is our entire goal. So if you can make it on these dates for your site, then that's great. We would love to see you there. If you already have something planned and you didn't save that date, that's okay. And you can always contact your TAP and we'll be happy to talk to you individually. The other thing, FreeEts are due the first Monday of October. The goal is to enter them at least once a month, and that's actually written into your IGAs. So if you get around to do that, it's very helpful because when you enter them into the FreeEts database, there is somebody at the state level who has to transfer all of that to an Excel spreadsheet. So if they're not getting swamped with stuff all at one time, it's very helpful. And remember that that data is directly tied to our funding, which is directly tied to us being able to do all of this. The last thing is we're hopefully going to have the state transition conference in person. The social is March 30th and the conference itself is the 31st and the 1st. So you can save the date and we will conjecture that we will plan for that lovely event. Any questions about any of that? Oh, I can see people again. Hi.
The time for regionals is going to be 9 to 11 on each of those dates. So can you put those dates back up, Joyce, so people can see those?
See everybody.
Harry.
Foresight.
Never mind. Never mind.
And it's from 9 to 11.
Does everybody know who their technical assistance provider is and that they know, so they know which date to attend?
Question.
Yeah.
And we are inviting, if they can make it, teachers, admin, VRCs, everybody that can attend can, but we want it to be for just that region.
And our goal is really to listen to you. So we'll send out some kind of talking points and what we're interested in, but our goal is just to hear what you have to say and what's going on in the field. We miss you guys.
So Anita asked a clarifying question. So you mean 10 to 12 Mountain Standard Time?
Nita, I want you to be right on that line where the phone starts to change. Hold the phone on one side, on the other. No, everyone else time. What is that, Pacific time?
9 to 11 Pacific Time is 10 to 12 Mountain Standard Time, right?
I don't know.
It is.
Go to
It is. You're correct. It is. It is. That is correct.
Do you guys change with daylight savings though? I'm from Arizona. I don't understand time. Okay. Are we good with this? Can I stop? Okay.
OSTC stands for Oregon State Transition Conference. So that's the conference that happens in March.
Yes. Oh, I can see you all. Oh, okay. And that's all I got for you if you have nothing else for me.
Questions, anybody? Thoughts?
Somebody,
Where-
somebody in the chat asked if I can't make my tap day, can I attend a different one?
We all knew this would come up. No, but you can contact your TAP who can schedule a time to meet with you, and then you can have your own private TAP day.
Next question is, where is the Oregon State Transition Conference being held?
The conference right now is we're planning on it being in person, and it will be in Eugene at the Graduate Hotel, but we all know those things are possibilities for change.
And I will do everything in my power to make sure there's stuff wrapped in bacon at this thing.
Mary Jo, isn't there some kind of song about times they are changing or?
Yeah, go ahead, Charlotte, take it away.
Yeah, you don't want me singing.
I hope they're changing for the best. We all need it.
Well, thank you. And if you have any specific thing, I'll sit here for like 2 minutes and see if anyone has any individual questions. But thank you guys very much for being here.
Thank you, Joyce. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see everybody.
It's really great to see everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
We'll see you in regionals. Bye, Kathy Knowles.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.